Sankofa comes from the Twi language of Ghana. Ghana is located in Africa.
Sankofa teaches us to go back to our roots to move forward.
We should reach back and gather the best of what our past has to teach us.
Whatever we have lost, forgotten, foregone, or been stripped of can be reclaimed, preserved, and perpetuated.
In order to ensure our future, we must know our past.
Good evening. I'm Mayor Andy Ginther. The month of February is set aside each year to recognize and honor the contributions of African Americans, past and present, who have so richly invested their time, talent, and treasure in our nation. This year, Columbus City Schools and Columbus Africentric Early College wanted to share their annual celebration with all of us to remind us all that Columbus produces transformational leaders like no other community.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kerry Charles from NBC4. Welcome to an extraordinary Central Ohio event, the very first of its kind. Sankofa is a Twi word from the Akan people, the Asante Empire of Ghana in Africa. Its literal translation is, fetch what is at risk of being left behind. Sankofa is essentially about reaching back to the past to reclaim all that is good and perhaps lost in these modern times, and bringing that good into the present. Our host tonight, Columbus Africentric Early College, a pre-K through 12th Columbus City School, was founded on the principle of Sankofa. For the past 3 years, the school has honored Central Ohio's African-American leaders from a spectrum of disciplines. Tonight, we meet those leaders.
She's a teacher, she's an organizer. Her focus was on educating through the arts. She's one of the founders of FACE,
Friends of Art for Community Enrichment.
The founder of Chess in the Hood.
When I met her 32 years ago, she was already retired.
A visionary is a person who doesn't really look at what is, but what can be. Even if I have to start with nothing, that means I can make something out of it. And that's exactly what Mrs. Willis has actually done with the Urban Strings Columbus Youth Orchestra. Her vision was to be able to take students from all different backgrounds, public schools, private schools, students that were at a disadvantage, to have them excel in terms of music. Now, understanding that Mrs. Willis, if I'm correct, does not play music at all. Not only do they play classical music, but they play gospel music, they play urban music, ethnic music, and all on strings.
She was on the board of Ohio Wesleyan's Upward Bound program, where we prepared high school students with low income for college entrance. Her idea of the return trip was always that the students write an essay. And you know, high school students, they want to sleep on the bus and have the music going and that kind of thing. She would say to them that as first-generation college students, your roommate may be someone who has experienced the museums, has experienced art. I look back on those days, and I'm friends with a lot of those students on Facebook. They are thankful that she made them reflect
She's a god grandmother to every child in Urban Strings.
I couldn't be in front of people, sing in front of people, play in front of people. Urban Strings gave me the confidence to be in front of people when we had many concerts and performances.
Every parent, just like my wife and I, have dreams and visions for our children. You have to discover what their bent is in life.
It's been such a help, such a big help, and I can't thank the Urban Strings family enough.
She taps into those areas in what can be and not just what is.
And she's able to get the very best out of you. Her character, her values, her principles. I just love her.
Dr. Walker and the 2021 Sankofa Committee, thank you so much for this award. It has a special meaning to me because it comes from the village. I hope I serve as a role model for young people in our community as they embrace the concept of Sankofa. When you look back, I hope you will reach back, and as you move forward, bring someone else with you. Thank you.
When I grow up, I want to be just like Miss Darlene Hill. Not only is she smart and confident, but she is beautiful. Every time she smiles, she lets everyone know that I am a phenomenal woman. As soon as she graduated from the Ohio State University, she started working in California. Then she worked in Chicago. Finally, she came back to Columbus, and now she is on the top of her game. I am so proud to present my shero, Miss Darlene Hill.
See the smile on my face? That just goes to show just how thankful I am. Sankofa, Dr. Walker, thank you so much for acknowledging the work that I do here at NBC4. I am in the company of the other honorees and, of course, emerging leaders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's one thing. I have received a number of Emmys, a number of Edward R. Murrows, and, of course, the George Foster Peabody Award. But it's nothing like being recognized from those in your own community. So I thank you. I appreciate you, and I promise never to let you down with the stories that we bring to you. Thank you.
Al Emerson is the president of the historic Mount Vernon District Improvement Association, founder and CEO of Making a Difference, and an owner of a Cut Above the Rest barbershop. Mr. Edmondson spearheads local community action committees to improve the health and wellness of the Near East Side. In 2014, Al was invited to the White House to attend the My Brother's Keeper announcement with President Obama. Thank you for your service, Brother Edmondson.
I just want to thank the nominating community for selecting me as a community outreach award for Sankofa. All the volunteers who have worked with me in the past with high blood pressure screenings, back to school rallies, eyeglass giveaways, Get Out the Vote campaign that we did to help get over 2,500 families. Thank you. God bless you. Enjoy the show.
Lynn Logan Grimes is the Educational and Cultural Arts Director at the King's Art Complex. She oversees the art academies and after-school filmmaking, a dance program, and a summer arts camp. In addition, she serves as the curator-manager for Elijah Pierce Gallery. But what you need to know is, Ms. Logan Grimes once taught right here at Columbus Africentric Early College.
I am humbled and honored to be a recipient of the Sankofa Award. To be honored by my community for my 25-plus year experience in arts and education gives me great joy and the determination to work even harder from this point. Once again, thank you for the acknowledgement.
Young people have discovered their power, and they are using it for the nation's good. They are looking at the gains of the past and deciding that the future can be even brighter. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Mr. Yandris Ferguson, a recent graduate of Columbus Africentric Early College.
We wear the mask that grins and lies, that hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. The debt we paid to human guile, with torn and bleeding hearts, we smile. This is our time to shed the mask that Mr. Paul Laurence Dunbar described. This is our time to embrace and immerse ourselves into the principles of going back into our history and fetching our heritage. Go back and fetch the dream that Dr. Martin Luther King so passionately described. Go back and fetch and find the courage that a young 6-year-old girl named Ruby Bridges had to exude for simply wanting to get a formal education. Go back and find your inner Kumba creativity. Find the creativity that Langston Hughes let come out of his soul in his works and his poems. Go and find your inner fight. Young people, this is our time. Black people, this is our time. And white people, this is your time. This is your time. Find the Nguzo Saba principle of umoja, unity, and unify yourselves to the black struggle. Be the Peter Normans to your black counterparts and give your resources to help them share the fight. America, this is our time. Columbus, this is our time. And to those of you that are watching this is your time.
Greetings, I'm Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, and on behalf of the citizens of the 3rd Congressional District and the Congressional Black Caucus, I want to express how honored I am to offer words of encouragement and congratulations to this year's Columbus Afrocentric Early College Sankofa Celebration of Leadership Award winners. This is our time, after the events in the nation and our community, to be leaders today. And to our students, strive to be the leaders our community needs for the future. Congratulations again to everyone being honored tonight. And I'm Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, and I approve this message.
Architecture is an interesting profession, but mostly it's teaching you leadership, using the past to inform the future or to make a better future. And I think that's what Kurt's done pretty much his whole life, how to take what you've learned and advance the future of the community.
He's always been a community-oriented person. He's always doing things for the community. Career days for high schools, middle schools, elementary schools.
He's worked really hard to encourage diversity in the architectural profession, which has never been a very successful thing in that profession.
Country diverse, continent diverse.
There may be hundreds of people involved in a building before it's done, and you have to know how to put a team together to successfully complete those projects. And I think that combination of basketball and the teamwork that goes into architecture contributes greatly to him being an inspiring leader to the community.
One day, shortly after I started working with Moody Nolan, Kurt had seen me and he said, I want you to come in the office at about 7:30. I want to meet with you. And I hadn't been there long, and I said, what is this about? So I come in at 7:30, go in the conference room, there's about 4 or 5 other people in there, and he said, I know you all wonder why I asked you to be here, but we're going to go for a project, and it's been a difficult one for me, and I just wanted you all to come in and pray with me. And then I think from that point on, I said, I'm in a good company.
I am deeply honored to receive this award because as I grew up, I didn't have a mentor or role model in the architectural profession because it lacked people of color. Fortunately, this year, we were recognized by the American Institute of Architects as the 2021 Architectural Firm of the Year for the nation. That had never happened to a firm of color such as ours. It had never happened to an Ohio-based firm. So we are appreciative of that award as well as this award that hopefully youth can take advantage of having people that looks like them to be able to identify with. My son Jonathan is leading the way for the next generation of our firm as we move forward. So again, thank you for this recognition.
My Sankofa story is a personal one. In 2018, I had the opportunity to go to Egypt. As a little girl, you think about where you're from. You hear a lot about Africa. I saw people who looked like me that gave me an opportunity to look back, to reflect on who we are, where we come from, and why we exist. To our Columbus City School students, I want you to be able to have your Sankofa story, to be able to say, I had an excellent education, I had teachers who cared. My school district provided a pathway for me to be whomever I desired to be.
Reverend Curtis M. Harrison Jr. is a pastor to the Christian community. He is a pastor of youth and emerging adult ministry at Rema Christian Center. He served 8 years in the United States Navy as a Russian linguist for naval intelligence and over 3 years in Japan. Thank you for keeping us covered, Reverend Harrison.
Being born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, it's always been a pleasure to serve the greater Columbus community. I would like to thank my parents for raising me to have values that understanding that the greatest place in this world is serving others. Being a pastor of youth, working with teen men and teen women, I get asked a question oftentimes like, I want to be great. Pastor Curtis, I want to be great, man. And I'm like, okay, well, Jesus had the same issue. Some young men came up to him and said, hey, we want to be great. And he said, if you want to be great, serve others, and then you'll be great.
Dwight Carter is a national recognized school leader from Central Ohio. Because of his collaborative and innovative leadership, he was named the 2013 National Association of Secondary School Principals Digital Principal of the Year, the 2014 Academy of Arts and Science Education High School Principal of the Year, and the 2015 Ohio Alliance of Black School Educators Principal of the Year. He's the co-author of 3 books. He resides in Blacklick, Ohio with his wife Samantha and daughter Gabrielle. He is a proud graduate of Lyndon McKinley High School. Keep it moving, Mr. Carter.
Throughout the years of my 27 years in education, my purpose has been to positively change lives and impact futures. I've been a teacher, assistant principal, a principal, and I'm an assistant director. I'll tell you the same thing I've told my students for many, many years. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. We have the opportunity to choose our day. We have the opportunity to look for the good in other people and look for the greatness that's out there. And if you don't see it, I encourage you to go out and make that happen.
Dr. Roberts has a prolific 18-year public health background at the local, state, and national levels. Prior to her appointment as Health Commissioner in December 2017, she was the Medical Director and Assistant Health Commissioner at Columbus Public Health. She is active on the boards of the Columbus Medical Association Foundation and the YWCA of Columbus. She now calls Columbus home with her husband Edward and their dogs Cosby and Rudy.
Thank you, Columbus Africentric Early College, for this honor and for all you do to help our youngest residents learn, grow, and reach their maximum potential in school and in life. And I am proud to partner with Columbus City Schools to embrace the principles of Sankofa. Thank you for joining Columbus Public Health and me to help all youth in our community celebrate a bright, inspirational, and healthy future.
Councilmember Shayla Favor was appointed on January 14, 2019. Ms. Favor is the chair of City Council's powerful Public Service and Transportation Committee. In addition to serving on council, Ms. Favor serves on the executive board of the John Mercenary Langston Bar Association and on the executive board Creative Control Fest Design Conference. Wow, what a powerful sister.
I am extremely honored to be receiving such an important award, the Sankofa Leadership Award, during Black History Month. Receiving this award would not have been possible without the inspiration I received from my mentors and my colleagues, for whom I have the deepest respect and from whom I have derived the strength to challenge myself and perform better at each stage. Thank you, Africentric Early College. I am earnestly grateful for the recognition I receive from my work in our community. I am so excited about the future of Columbus.
The Columbus Africentric Early College has developed a national reputation in girls basketball. In fact, we've won 7 state championships in the last 14 years. Marley Hill was the leader of the 2012 state championship team. But at Columbus Africentric Early College, we don't just focus on developing our students on the court. We also make sure they can develop off the court. That's why Miss Hill is now a public school teacher in Houston, Texas. She's one of our best.
My name is Marley Hill, and I'm a 2013 proud graduate of Columbus Africentric. As an educator here in Houston, Texas, I'm forever in debt to Africentric for setting the foundation for me. And I want to thank those a part of Sankofa for putting this together and for honoring me. My favorite African proverb says, "It takes a village to raise a child," and I'm forever in debt as well to the people in my village, including my parents, Coach McKinney and his wife Denise McKinney, my teammates, and teachers. I leave you with this quote from Maya Angelou. "If you find in your heart to care for somebody else, you will have succeeded." This is what, to me, Sankofa embodies: caring for others and impacting your community. Thank you.
No school could successfully operate without a good principal and talented teachers. But likewise, no school could successfully operate without excellent instructional assistants. Ms. Smith is by far one of the best assistants in the entire district. She has always put the academic success of students first, and she has always gone over and above the call of duty. Thank you, Ms. Smith, for all that you do for the students. Without you, our school would not be the success that we are.
Thank you for this recognition and this award and this honor. I believe that the children that I work with, they are brilliant, they are bold, and they just get better and better. And it's just an honor for me to be at the Columbus Afrocentric School. Thank you for recognizing me with this award. Thank you.
She was a law student, and when she came to the Attorney General's office for her interview, as I recall, she had a big fro. And I was thinking, now I want to be able to hire this sister. And so coming into the Attorney General's office in 1978, now think about that, over 40 years ago, I was trying to figure out a way to say to her, you might want to at least trim your Angela Davis afro, but I didn't. And of course, Janet got the job where together we were civil rights attorneys.
She was one of the first to integrate her high school in Virginia. She was the first female and first African-American CEO of United Way of Central Ohio.
Intellectual firepower. And she's systematic in terms of using her skills, her thinking, her ability to solve problems on an intellectual basis.
She can encourage people to see the vision that she has for the work that she's doing.
From the very beginning, Janet has been focused on equity. She's been focused on what I call full participation. When we work together as civil rights trial lawyers, when she was a judge, she was always focused on fairness and justice.
At United Way, she established Pride Leadership Council and Project Diversity, which are both programs to make sure that those typically underrepresented at nonprofit board tables have a seat.
She was not just the outstanding lawyer, the outstanding judge, the outstanding city prosecutor, the outstanding president of the United Way, but she always prioritized her family. She has prioritized the importance of her relationship with her mother.
She is a loving daughter, sister, mother. Anytime she talks about her son, Harrison, you see her face light up.
From the very beginning, she's been actively involved in trying to help other people, to lift others up. And I think understanding that about Janet is key to how we build on the future. Equity and equality and full participation for all.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi,
How are
Janet.
you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm having a very good day. Maybe a little nervous.
Oh, it'll be easy. So your fingerprints are on so many different things across our community. If you had to pick one accomplishment, one career accomplishment, what would that be?
Oh, heavens. In terms of being a first, the judgeship, you know, certainly. That was, and a part of it was how, and I was thinking about this morning, I stand on the shoulders of people who came, you know, before me. Going into our churches and having the pastors, you know, to be so supportive, I really understood that I was the community's judge when I was elected.
What keeps you up at night?
Not being able to find the solutions to poverty. I mean, it is just unbelievable that a country as rich as ours, that so many people, so many children live in poverty. And I just don't see us making much progress in those areas.
So I'd like to do some rapid fire questions. Every leader must.
Every leader must listen before leading.
Columbus is?
Much more diverse than people realize.
How has your past influenced who you are, and how can we as a collective be preparing for the future?
So the past that I'm thinking about is well in the past. Growing up in truly segregated Southern Virginia and the challenges I incurred there. But I think it really prepared me to take risk. For us, Dawn, at this time in 2021, I'm hoping that we can look back to what happened in 2020 and maybe even beyond in terms of how African Americans, have been treated. And finally, every sector of the community says it is not acceptable to not deal head-on with racism.
To watch Dawn's entire hour-long interview with the extraordinary Janet Jackson, go to Sankofa2021.com.
Shadow beneath my hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land, true to our native, true to our native, the bum 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 down.
At Columbus Africentric Early College, our vision is high achievement in early college for each student as we affirm the positive leadership of African Americans to benefit the global community. So why Sankofa? Sankofa helps us to understand the value proposition of an Afrocentric school for the Columbus community. It helps us to connect with the contributions that African Americans have made to our community and the significance of those contributions. So often in Black History Month, we look back, but we don't always look forward. It was important to me in conceptualizing Sankofa for our school that we understand that the purpose of looking back isn't to stay there. It's to move forward into a more productive future. It's to think about how we as a people can use our talents, our energies, our time, our treasure to have an impact in our world.
Wilma Rudolph is quoted as saying, "Never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit." So we say, dream big. Good night.